On this Friday afternoon in September, Mark Ashton sat at his desk on the LMI building's 14th floor. His boss sat behind office doors while his desk was in a cubicle. But this didn't bother him. He enjoyed his work because it provided a welcome diversion from his private life, which was less than thrilling. About 12 years ago, the Harvard graduate and lawyer wound up on Wall Street. After 6 years at one of New York's law firms, he joined LMI. But he'd failed miserably on the trading floor because he wasn't cut out for the hustle and stress. He wasn't greedy and ruthless enough to be successful. Human Resources had moved him to a position in syndication at his own request, and he'd been quite happy there for 3 years. Detailed calculations, financial statements, and financial analyses were more to his liking. When the new head of M&A was searching for someone good at mundane number crunching, Mark applied on a whim and got the job. He didn't regret it one bit. M&A was an exciting business. Mark paused for a second, took off his glasses, and rubbed his eyes. Alex Sondheim was the smartest and most competent boss he'd ever had. She managed to motivate her team like no one else. She noticed every error and registered all weaknesses, but she never exposed anyone publicly. Ashton quickly realized that he shouldn't enter her office unprepared. Praise from Alex was a rare event, and the team she'd formed from this mixed group soon felt a sense of devotion that was unparalleled in the egocentric world of Wall Street. The entire department worked late into the night and on weekends without complaint. Closed deals were celebrated after work at the St. John's Inn, Luna, or Reggie's at Hanover Square. For the first time, Mark felt like an integral member of an efficient team, and he owed it all to Alex. If for no other reason than that, he decided to pledge loyalty to her. He especially wanted to find out whether she'd be interested in what he had uncovered about a potential client during his research. His findings seemed suspect, and Mark wasn't sure what to make of it. The Wisconsin-based Hanson Paper Mill was one of the largest paper mills in the country, and they had shown interest in acquiring the prestigious but almost bankrupt American Roadmap Publishing Company. Mark questioned the motivation behind this because he couldn't identify any good reason for it. In order to find out more about the company, he researched the Hanson paper mill and discovered, to his surprise, that it was owned by a holding company called Civico from Panama. Civico was owned in turn by a company called Sunset Properties, which had incorporated in the British Virgin Islands in 1985. No information was available whatsoever about Sunset Properties. None of this had mattered so far, but it was striking that American Roadmap was already owned by Sunset Properties via a company called Sagamex SA of Monaco. Why should one company acquire another, both under the same owner? Mark chewed on his lower lip. Should he tell Alex what he had discovered about Hanson and American Roadmap? No, he ultimately said out loud to himself, shaking his head. It doesn't matter. His job was to assemble the right numbers in order to prepare for an attractive takeover offer. If the deal went through, the legal department would take care of everything else. The day was pure hell. The market was inexplicably restless and had been for the past few weeks. The mad rush at the opening of the stock exchange was like the gates at the Super Bowl. Alex worked on the new deal under intense pressure, leading one telephone conference after another and poring over complicated financial reports. She scarfed down a sandwich for lunch, and if she wanted to avoid working throughout the entire weekend, dinner would have to wait. It was almost 3:30 when her direct line rang. Yes, she said, and rubbed her burning eyes. Hello, Alex. The sonorous voice, so close and unexpected in her ear, automatically quickened her pulse. It's me, Sergio. Hello, Sergio. Alex forced herself to sound relaxed. He had called her the day after Zach's party and invited her to lunch. His aura of power impressed Alex. She liked his attentiveness and was dazzled by the possibility of a closer relationship with him. This made her overlook the less than flattering rumors about the source of his incredible wealth and the fact that he was married. During their increasingly frequent meetings, Alex noticed how fascinated he was by her and how he tried to impress her. She'd acted cool and aloof until she was certain she had him hooked. Wielding power over a man like Sergio Vitali was more exciting than anything that she'd previously experienced. Alex hadn't had time for a long-term relationship with a man. She spent an occasional